News from the continent now. Thousands of Ethiopians marched in protest in Washington, D.C., in London, Frankfurt and Stockholm, condemning the killing of hundreds of peaceful protesters in the Oromo and Amhara regions in Ethiopia by the repressive Tigray People's Liberation Front, or the TPLF, and the Ethiopian People's Democratic Movement, the EPDM regime. Now, the gross violations of human and democratic rights and atrocities are being committed by the Addis Ababa regime since it came into power in 1991 in the Oromo, the Ganda and the Gojam regions. Now, this, according to a report compiled by the Freedom House, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch and the United States Department of State Human Rights Report. Now, to discuss this further, we're joined in our Pretoria studios by Professor Mammo Muchie. He's a lecturer at the Tshwane University of Technology and he's also an Ethiopian citizen. Professor, a very good morning to you and welcome. You must be very concerned what is currently happening in Ethiopia. But before we get to that point, I would like you to give us a historic overview in terms of Ethiopia and the challenges that the country is currently facing.
Just briefly, Ethiopia is one of the oldest independent countries in Africa. It's an example, as you know. In fact, a philosophy was formed called Ethiopianism, and the African National Congress, the initiators were Ethiopianists. They were always called, they are under threat. This Ethiopia propaganda will kill us, was what the white authorities used to do. They even passed a law in 1906. So that's how it happened. So it's one of you. Ethiopia is also you. Mm-hmm. You South Africans also are Ethiopians, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So talk to us about the challenges. Yeah. So talk about the challenges that the country is currently facing. We believe there's some are suggesting there is genocide in some of the regions that's happening.
Yeah, I think the ethnic mode of government based on language is not good. That system was formed in 1991. And if it continues, there will always be a problem. There will always be even more than genocide. I don't know what will happen. Even for the country's existence, it's doubtable if this ethnic arrangement is not changed. Mm-hmm. So fundamentally, it has to change. Exactly for example, when you had apartheid, you did not have 9 flags. We have the United States. The whole world is there. There's 1 flag and 1 constitution. In Ethiopia, they have 9 flags. And how can you have a federal flag and all these regional flags, and then everybody is confused? Mm-hmm. I think it has to change completely. And that's the main thing. What happened now, all the youth, all the young people who have been ruled over the last 25 years are revolting. They are rising. Yes. And when they are rising, the government is not responding by saying, let's talk to you. Why are you revolting? What are your questions? Instead, what did the government do? The Prime Minister said, we'll use force against you. And not only that, will also mobilize other ethnic groups to protest against you. So this kind of response is the most negative response. And it's something that I really ask the whole world to protest against. Mm-hmm. Either the government must be advised, or if they don't listen, they should be condemned.
Now, the Oromo and the Amhara have a contentious history, but they both feel that they've been politically and economically marginalized, Professor, despite making up almost 61% of the country's population. Why do they feel marginalized? And is it just because of a minority government, which consists of about 6% of the Tigray people?
But I think in terms of the governance arrangement and the economy, the security and the military, it's not proportional, it's not inclusive. The dominance is still done by the members who are from the TPLF. Mm-hmm. And their supporters from Oromo or from or other areas. So what has happened is the majority feel they are not economically, politically, socially, somehow included. So if they have been ruling the country for the last 25 years, The thing they could have done was to create an inclusive system. The main thing they should be working is to create a sustainable system for peace and democracy, for not for only for Ethiopia, for all over Africa. That's what we need. We have a serious problem. Leadership crisis, leadership curse, institution curse, system curse. I mean, it's not good to have this kind of problems continuously. And that ethnic system is dangerous. Trust me. It's the most dangerous thing that happened to Ethiopia. Of all places, it should not have been in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is a spiritual example for the whole of Africa, for the oppressed people of the world. It gave spiritual food for all of us. Look at here in South Africa. Your liberation started with Ethiopianism. I mean, it's incredible.
Now, according to that,
and how do you attack a country like that?
Now, according to the Human Rights Report, there are human rights abuses being committed in Ethiopia by the regime, but they are still receiving unreserved financial as well as material and diplomatic support from the U.S. Why is that still the case, you think, Professor?
I think this is a very important question. Thank you for asking. The support for this regime came, you know, when the earlier regime failed, it was pro-Soviet Union. So the American government supported both the separation of Eritrea from Ethiopia, at the same time the installment of the TPLF in Ethiopia. And ever since, both America and Britain and the whole of the West have been completely supporting them, even if they do any violations. They know it. The State Department writes about these human rights violations, but still, they support them. Now, our demand is, I wish we Africans, we have so much resource, but trust me, if we could just be independent, we have our own agency and freedom from them. Let them leave us alone. Let America get out. Let all this West get out of Ethiopia. Let them not do this. But historically, they have always been against Ethiopia, because Ethiopia stood up against them. You know, it fought. It was the winner of a colonial power. You know, the Adwa victory. They call it, it's a victory against Europe. So they attack Ethiopia. So all of Africa should support Ethiopia.
Now, we've seen some of the protests.
And the forces that they have now are agents. They're agents.
Now,
they should stop.
We've seen some of the protests around the globe, in New York, in Stockholm, all over the place, as well as in Ethiopia. But the current Prime Minister, Haile Mariam Desalegn, last week banned demonstrations as well as blocked social media. What does that say about democracy in the country, Professor? And how can the Ethiopian people overcome this?
Can I just say to you, thank you. They say they are promoting democracy. How can you promote democracy when people protest? You order a military force to kill them, a special force, a force called Agazi. It's extraordinary what's happening. It's so unfair, it's so unjust. Why do we have in Africa leaders who lie to us? I mean, what does it mean to be patriotic in Africa? If we are patriotic, if we love our people, if we love our country, the best thing we should create is peace, development, well-being for the people, all right, and democracy people, human rights. That is the main thing. All Africans should do this. We need leadership like this. We need to train them moral intelligence, intellectual intelligence, social intelligence, psychological intelligence. We need to have those kinds of leaders. What we have is this ridiculous liars. It's not good.
Yes.
This is a lie, and we should stop it.
A final word from you, Professor, and a call to the Ethiopian authorities or to the people, and a word of encouragement to the people of Ethiopia.
Yeah, thank you. For the government of Ethiopia, they should be honest. They should try to listen to the people and try to create a sustainable, join the dialogue to create a system so that from here on we do not suffer again we have a predictable system where the people, even if they don't like it, they are with it. And the people of Ethiopia, I think at the moment they have started it. It's the young people that are starting it. It's not any political force or anything. Let the people continue to make sure, since they have started it, so that we have a predictable system, a predictable governance, and a predictable institution, and a predictable system, sustainable, and leadership in the country, so that everybody will be happy. And Ethiopia will remain the bastion of really the foundational idea provider of Africa, which I think is a very important. And South Africa, I think, should not be quiet now. They should really use any of their influences. And in the media also, I mean, thank you for doing this. In the media, there's no media coverage even in South Africa or in the rest of Africa. We should cover it because people are dying and many things are happening. People like us, I can't sleep sometimes when I hear about this situation. And I really think this is a time where our brothers and sisters in South Africa also should join, because we are part of you. We're part and parcel. I feel South African and Ethiopian at the same time. I really do. Professor, and that's what we should do. Professor, we should work like that. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much, Professor, and all the best of luck with all your endeavors to get the support for the Ethiopian people.
Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you do.
That was Professor Mammo Muchie. He's a lecturer at the Tshwane University of Technology and an Ethiopian, a very concerned Ethiopian citizen. We'll take a break and we'll be right back after that.